Wes, what did you see from your team's offense and overall approach in the fourth quarter?
Well, the approach I thought was fine. It just we got a little rattled with the zone defense. Really struggled to make the open threes, and I thought when we missed a few that we got a little hesitant. I think the ball finds you in rhythm, you have to shoot it, and against the zone, the longer you hold on to it, allows the zone to shift and kind of get back into position to minimize any offensive impact. So, the zone definitely bothered us. So it was effective.
Coach, Denny's defense is something that we've talked about a lot this season. Paolo had a good night, put up good numbers, but there were a number of times where Denny, you forced him into tough shots, stood him up, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. What does it say about his versatility that he can guard point guards one night and then a guy as strong and big as Paolo another night?
Yeah, we've talked about it. We've seen him quite often this year, do that for us. Not only from game to game, but sometimes within the game, guarding smalls, then adjusting, guarding a big. I think he got a little frustrated with the fouls, but you're playing against a guy in Paolo who, right now I think top 10 or 11 in drawing free throws. So, got to the line quite a bit. He's a downhill player with tremendous size. He plays with force. So it's a challenge. But, in general, I thought, Denny's done a really good job this year of kind of managing, doing a better job with his KYP discipline of not fouling and, showing that skill set to, guard some smalls, guard bigs, catch and shoot guys. That gives you like a Swiss Army knife. You just kind of plug him and play wherever you need him to fit.
Wes, I know it's a weird situation with how many guys you had out, but just Corey's three-point shooting, what did that kind of maybe indicate or give you a little tell about how ready, willing, whatever the word you want to say is, for when he does get more responsibility or take a bigger role?
No, it's a huge step. He was primarily a spot guy last year, and now he's moving, kind of searching him out. I think that's great early in the possession. He's finding space and finding those windows and all those driving kicks, and he seems to be getting the shot off quicker, that's a heck of a weapon. And obviously shooting at a very efficient rate, so it's a positive. It struggled a little bit, once again in the zone. I thought we missed him a couple times in the corner, but overall, he had a really good night.
Coach, there's 5 games left in the season. How confident are we to make a playoff push?
Well, it's probably going to be difficult, given how many guys we have out. But I like our competitive spirit, and those young guys kind of go through the fire a little bit, and that's the only way to really learn. I think they had some good moments, but it fell a little short there in the fourth. But I'm not going to let go of the rope, and I don't expect our guys to. So, whomever's available, whoever's out there, we want to make sure we're competing as best we can.
Coach, so what is a positive takeaway that you got from this game?
Well, obviously we played 3 solid quarters of basketball. It's certainly an opportunity for our young guys to kind of go through some adversity, and they're going to learn on the fly. And I know it's tough. It's at times difficult to watch, and I know they're frustrated at times going through it, but that's the only way to expedite that maturation. You have to get over the hump. It's not just going to happen on its own. The only way to go to the other side is you got to go through it. And I think it's a huge step for our guys to have to play in these games. And, all those minutes, you can't simulate those in practice. So it's important that they learn from them.
Delon, obviously not what you guys wanted tonight, but I wanted to ask you about Corey and just maybe what you can tell from games like these where obviously weird with a lot of guys out, end of the season, but what does that kind of indicate about his willingness, readiness to take on a bigger role on this team?
Yeah, I think he's doing a good job of hunting his shot. He's, in transition, he's finding a way to the ball, making himself open, and, guys are finding him, and he's, knocking them down.
What did you think from Johnny, 28 minutes tonight? How do you feel like he's coming along?
Definitely coming along. From early on in the year, he played some games in the G League, and now he's stepping up and playing more minutes for us, and he just continuing to show confidence.
Delon, at times lately, especially with the injuries and stuff like that, you've been the lone vet on the court with 4 young guys. What's your mentality in that role? Are you finding yourself in more of a leadership position than you have at other times?
Yeah, for sure. Especially defensively, I feel like when we don't box out, when we make the wrong rotation, I kind of try to help coach on the floor. So whenever I'm on the court with the young guys, I just try to just be a leader by example, and if I see something, correct them. But if not, I just kind of let them do their thing.
Do you find them coming to you at all, or like looking to you in times of when they're not maybe sure what to do, or when shot clock's running down, like that sort of thing? Do you find them gravitating towards you?
Not really. I don't feel it, but I'm pretty sure it happens. I don't feel anything like that, but
Fair enough.
Delon, kind of in that same mindset of in the fourth quarter when Orlando was throwing the zone at you guys, can you kind of walk us through what you were seeing, what the problems were with not being able to kind of generate some buckets? What was going on?
I feel like 2 things or 3 things. They were scoring, getting buckets on us. And 2, guys like me and Denny, the guys that are handling the ball, we had to attack more. And the third one, I feel like lost confidence. Some of the shots we were passing up, we got to just take them, make her miss. And, I feel like that was the biggest thing, just not being confident in some of the shots we were taking.
So, what do you think was the turning point in today's game?
Probably when they threw the zone at us. They slowed us down, and we got a little stagnant. So, I feel like we just have to do a better job of executing against their zone defense, because we use the zone against other teams when we need to slow them down. And today they used it against us, and we just, didn't respond well.
Corey, is 9 threes a personal record for you?
Tied it.
Tied it.
Mhm.
College?
College, yeah. I had 9 in college one time.
Against who? Do you remember?
Virginia, senior year.
Oh, Anthony. You should tell him that. That's good.
I'm sure he knows.
Yeah. You had no free throws to miss tonight, right? Unlike the other night. So how do you evaluate just what was working well?
I knew kind of coming in, it felt great this morning. Got shots up this morning, felt great. Got some really good treatment with Carlos. Knew I was feeling really good, but it was just about executing. And I was pretty much just a 3-point shooter tonight. There had nothing much else to evaluate. I didn't get on the glass probably as well as I wanted to, but I'm nitpicking for sure.
I was going to say, did any coaches have messages for you? And I'm asking because, to me, looking from the outside, it would be indicative of the fact that you're ready to kind of be more aggressive and take on more responsibility. Obviously, I know it's a weird situation with all the guys out, but what do you kind of take from that aspect of it?
Yeah, I mean, today we were missing – Monte was out for missing like 70 points or something like that. So obviously guys had to step up and be more aggressive. And when I had it rolling early, that kind of I knew I had to step into that role a little bit. And to shoot 14 threes in an NBA game, like your teammates got to be looking for you and making a lot of plays for you. A lot of my stuff didn't come off the dribble tonight. So the credit goes to them for sure, helping me out.
Is this the freest you've felt so far in your NBA career, just in terms of letting shots fly?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Things just change when the lineups change, the shots just don't come my way when we have a full lineup. That's just kind of the way it is. And now with things that kind of changed a little bit at this kind of end of the season, we're able to try some stuff, and I'm able to try some stuff and expand my role and expand my game. So, every time I get a look, it's going to go up.
And can you just take me inside the mind of a shooter a little bit? When you make your first one, how much of a difference does that make going forward compared to if you start your game with a miss or 2 misses? Tonight you started with 3 straight makes. How does that set the tone going forward for you for the night?
I would want it to not make a difference, whether I missed 3 or made 3 in a row. Like, that's kind of where I'm trying to get to. But obviously on a night like tonight where 3 out of the first 4 went in or 4 out of the first 5, then you kind of know And obviously it gets your teammates' attention too. So they started looking for me as well. But I want to get to a point where, makes and misses just don't matter, and that's just kind of the way I play.